Morning. We'll give it a minute or two for anybody else to join, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Are we waiting on anybody else that anybody is aware of?
Yeah, Alexander, Doughboy's other owner's trying to join right now, but I think he's having trouble. I'm going to try to resend him the link.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. Do you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right.
Can we have your name, just because it's showing up as an iPhone?
Yep, my name's Alexander Enrique Magana.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started.
All right.
My name is Travis Kelly, and I act for the County of San Mateo. I'm conducting today's administrative hearing as authorized by its municipal code, section 6.04.150. Today's date is January 16th, 2026. This is a 10 a.m. hearing regarding an animal owned by owners with last names Mitchell and Magana. Today's decision will be a final administrative decision for the County of San Mateo. Parties may have the right to appeal this decision to the appropriate jurisdiction by filing a writ of mandate in the Superior Court of this county pursuant to the California Code of Civil Procedure. I'll explain that again at the end. I act as an independent hearing officer and have the option to declare the animal as dangerous or not, and with or without added conditions. The purpose of this hearing is because Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA has designated your animal as dangerous, and you wish to contest that designation through this separate administrative hearing. A recording of this hearing may be obtained from the program manager of Animal Control and Licensing for a nominal sum of money, and a decision letter will be sent to all parties within 7 calendar days, so on or before next Friday. If it is ordered that the animal be maintained under a dangerous animal permit, the owner will have to contact the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA and speak with a field services supervisor to apply for that permit within 5 business days of receipt of that decision. If it is ordered for the animal to not be maintained under a dangerous animal permit, all other conditions must be met and fees paid, if any. The following criteria are considered in making today's decision. If at the time of the injury, the attack, or the incident, the person or the animal suffering that incident in some way provoked the subject animal, or committed a willful trespass or other tort upon the private property of the owner or caretaker of the animal, or threatened or committed some unjustified attack or assault against the owner, caretaker, or person in control of the animal, and or any other mitigating factors deemed appropriate for consideration. Also taken into consideration will be the severity and circumstances of the bite, attack, or incident, as well as any records of the animal's history. As a reminder, this hearing will be the first time I've heard anything related to the facts, so I've not read the case report. I'm going to unseal it now and mark it into evidence. I know nothing about the facts and will hear it fresh at this hearing for the first time. I'll now give you a brief overview of how today's hearing will be conducted. I'll first take reports and testimony from Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA. I will then ask the other parties, including the owner and the victim party if present, if they have any questions, statements, or evidence to present. Everybody will get a chance to speak. Everybody will get a chance to respond to the other party if they need to. Just please don't interrupt anybody else. Are there any attorneys present today in a representative capacity, meaning here on behalf of a client? Doesn't look like it. So with that, I have unsealed the case file, marked it into evidence as Exhibit A, and I will turn it over to Peninsula Humane Society. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Officer Larson. I have here the incident summary. So we have it on July 14th, 2025 at 13:18 hours. PHS SPCA received a report of a dog versus dog incident involving an off-leash brown and white pit bull, later identified as Doughboy, attacking a poodle mix, later identified as Homer. Based on these statements and evidence obtained, Isabel Quasha was walking Homer along with several other dogs belonging to the clients on leash near the parking lot of Holbrook Park in Atherton. She observed Alexander Enrique Magana Villanueva and his dogs, including Doughboy, off leash nearby, despite the park requiring dogs to be on leash while on premises. While Quasha was picking up after one of the dogs in her care, the other dogs began barking at Magana and his dogs. Doughboy then charged and attacked Homer. The incident concluded with when Quasha was able to separate her dogs from Doughboy, who was later reconfined by Magana to his vehicle. Quasha then called emergency services to report the incident, and Atherton Police Department responded to the scene. Homer sustained a bite wound on the right ear and received treatment at Sage Veterinary Centers in Redwood City. Unless the witness testimony or any other extenuating facts come to light during the dangerous animal hearing that finds the events did not in fact occur as described to me by the parties involved, it would appear that Doughboy meets the definition of a dangerous animal as defined by Atherton Municipal Code section 6.04.010 dangerous animal and San Mateo County Municipal Code section 6.04010 dangerous animal as well.
Thanks, Officer Larson. I understand you're not the investigating officer, so I'm going to ask the questions anyway, but you may not have the answers, and that's okay. Do you know why this happened in July and it's up for a hearing now?
So I am actually the investigating officer for this. As for why, there's kind of a mixture of things. We are pretty low staffed, and there's half due to staffing, half due to call volume. So it wasn't a particular reason besides just the hands we have on deck, so to speak.
Got it. Thank you. Sorry, I misread the investigating officer. How many dogs did Mr. Magana have with him? Any idea?
I don't have an exact number. I believe it was maybe mentioned once that possibly 3 dogs at the time, so 2 additional dogs with Doughboy, but I can't confirm for sure.
And the party we're referring to as Miss Quasha was a dog walker or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And do we know how many dogs she had with her?
I do not know.
Okay, thank you. And is there information in the case file, and sorry, I'm just looking at it for the first time, about the vet bills? Looks like there is, and the extent of the injuries. Do you have any type of summary on the injuries sustained by the victim animal?
There should be one included. Mainly we have the vet summary for the aftercare. I believe it was a laceration to the ear that required stitches.
Okay.
I also want to correct my previous statement. I do have a list provided by Mrs. Quasha with a list of the dogs she had with her.
Got it.
At the time. That should be included in the evidence as well.
Okay, we'll see it in it then. No problem. Thank you. Nothing further for PHS. Let's move to Mr. Magana. You were present. Can you just tell us what happened on that day from your perspective?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Thank you.
So on that day, I was at Holbrook Palmer, and I was playing fetch with my dogs. While I was there, I observed individual, Miss Isabel Quasha, walking through the park with a group of approximately, I can't remember exactly, I think it was 6 to 10 dogs or something around there. And Miss Quasha, she walked past the area where I was playing with my dogs, I'd say about 3 times in the span of 10 minutes. And each time her dogs were barking at my dogs. And this is, 5, 6, 7 dogs barking at my dogs while they're playing. And my dogs didn't react, including Doughboy, the dog who's, subject to this proceeding. I saw her repeatedly staring in my direction while her dogs continued barking. And due to that, I decided I was going to leave the park just because it was, I didn't feel safe. And as I was leashing my dogs, Miss Quasha and her dogs were approximately 20 feet away, and her dogs were still barking at my dogs while I was securing the leash, and it slipped from my hand. And at that point, Doughboy ran toward the dog, who had been pulling and barking towards Doughboy, and I immediately chased after him. I brought him back under my control promptly. When he interacted with the dog who was barking at him, Miss Quasha and I intervened and grabbed him, and grabbed my dog by the collar, and he was obedient to both of us. When Doughboy interacted with her dogs, I don't think that he was attempting to bite it. Well, he did not attempt to bite Isabel. Sorry about that. Or any of the other dogs in the initial encounter. He nipped the dog who was provoking him, barking at him, and attempted 0 actions towards Miss Quasha and her other 5, 6 dogs that she had. Doughboy's not, he's not a malicious dog, and he wasn't aiming to attack or injure any other dog. I think more so it was just a reaction or a correction to the dog barking at him. And I take full responsibility for having my dogs off leash to play fetch, and I wish I had gotten out of there sooner. I have since refrained from taking them to the park for such activities, and I've learned my lesson to not. I don't think that it's fair to punish Doughboy for this situation, as the interaction was a scuffle that I should have prevented. And Doughboy has never harmed another animal in his 6 years of living. He's a family dog who loves interacting with people of all ages, and he has many dog friends of all ages who can attest to his friendly and loving demeanor.
Thank you. So when the 2 dogs got close enough to each other for this incident to occur, is it your position that the other dog that we're calling the victim dog here approached your dog, or did your dog go over to them?
So my dog went over to them after they had been barking at him for about 10 minutes continuously, nonstop.
Okay. Nothing further for now. You'll have a chance to respond again. I want to ask, I believe that's Miss Quasha, who is the other party and witness. Miss Quasha, can you tell us what happened from your perspective? You're muted right now.
From the 14th of July, my car was parked over there, that white car. And I was walking with the dogs that I was walking from the car facing north to where the dogs were playing over there. So I saw the dogs playing, and my dogs were moving from here, from where the car was.
I can't take into account video evidence because it's impossible to transcribe, unfortunately. So
And then,
but you can't.
and then we went over here.
I can't see it, Miss Quasha. Just tell us verbally, please.
Yeah, we went over here to the bushes, and over there was where the dog was sitting and was sitting on the ground. The 2 other dogs were running across the field. I saw Mr. Magana standing beside the tree, and beside him was the pit bull lying down. And at this area, I saw the pit bull saw me, but we were coming over here in these bushes, and the dogs were pooping. My dog was not barking at, but was busy to pooping. And when I saw them, the neck of the dog come, which ran from there over here, I grabbed the collar and pulled up, and was able to disable the dog, and he let go of my dog. And then Mr. Magana was over here, and I was able to hand him the dog. And the dog came to, and then was uh, riled up again. And beside him here was the Doberman, which I was able to fend off. So I was able to hand over the dog to Mr. Magana, and I was able to bring the dogs that were here to my car. That's what happened. And then I inspected my dog, and I saw that he had a tear on his ear. And that's it. So the incident happened here in the field, that the dogs were playing there far away, far. And the Magana was there near the tree. And the dog was near the tree, and then it ran all the way up to there, near the bushes. And that's where my dog was pooping, over here in the bushes. And then that's where I was able to catch the dog.
So these were your dogs? All of the dogs that you had are your dogs?
No, I'm a professional dog walker.
Okay. And the dog that was injured that we're referring to as...
It's my personal dog.
That's your dog?
Yeah. It's a cream white colored Maltipoo.
Can you confirm the damages that he suffered? What happened? What did the vet have to address?
Had to reattach the ear that was torn. There's a picture that's attached to the documents. They had to have stitches.
What was the total cost that you paid?
1,400, and Mr. Magana had reimbursed me for this.
Okay. Did you ever feel personally targeted by the dog, like it was going to attack you?
What I felt was Magana had already seen me, and he told me that he's seen me before with all the dogs, and they bark, and they're all unruly, the dogs. So
that's not the question. The question is, on the day of that incident, did you ever feel like, I mean, you said you went in and you broke these dogs apart. Did you ever feel like you were targeted by the other dog? Like you were at risk?
It was standing towards me and Homer. Homer was in front of me and twirling because he was pooping. And the dog, the neck, when I saw it, it was coming toward me. And then I was able to pull it up. But you can't tell if he was targeting Homer or he was targeting me, because I was right behind Homer.
The dog never jumped up on you or
No.
contact with you?
No.
Okay. All right. Anything further, Ms. Quasha?
I think that's it.
Thank you. Any other parties present at the hearing wish to speak, even if you were not an eyewitness to the event? Ms. Mitchell, anybody else? Go ahead, Ms. Mitchell.
Yeah, it was just my understanding that these hearings are supposed to be unbiased based on the breed of the dog. So something that came to my attention during my personal investigation into discussing with Enrique what happened, and also looking into Miss Quasha, it's my understanding that she has a bias against pit bulls, and I just want to discuss that, as I think it might be relevant to her account of the events, because she's...
Understood. I've seen the file, and I understand what you're saying, but I'll stop you and tell you there's no breed bias within the code that these things follow. There's certainly no breed bias among me or, in my opinion, Peninsula
Yeah,
Humane Society
I think
ever.
it just goes to
Factual.
her standing of saying that if he was like,
I understand your position that you feel like she's over exaggerating based on her disdain for the breed, but I'll tell you that it's not relevant. And
okay. And just to be clear, also, any video that she was just showing you, that will not be taken into consideration because you have no way to corroborate that.
Yeah, no, I mean, not that it really matters one way or another, right? The park is the park. It's going to still be there the same, but just we have a lot of people wanting to show videos or photos on the Zoom, and there's just not any way to really accommodate them.
Okay.
If anybody has anything they feel like they need to submit to the file, we'll leave the evidence submission deadline open until today at 5 p.m. so that you can send it into the same office you've been corresponding with. If you feel like I really wanted to show this and I couldn't, and I really wanted to get into evidence, send it by the close of business today, please. Sounds like a pretty straightforward event that occurred. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of controversy around what happened. Does anybody have anything further they'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say something real quick, if that's okay.
Can you state your name and your relation to the situation?
Yeah, my name is Omar Mendoza. I actually own a dog daycare business, and I have taken care of Doughboy in my daycare for about 4 years. And I just wanted to mention that we've never had any issues with the dog. Not once have we felt like he has been some sort of liability or, misbehaving to the point where he should not be around other dogs. So I just wanted to make sure that I stated my point with years of handling this dog. We've never had any issues.
You. Anybody else?
Could I say something?
Yep, just please state your name.
Sure. Christy Tonsfeld. I am just a friend of Enrique's. He actually is friends with my daughters, and our dogs have become dog friends. And I've probably gone for walks or had the dogs play with his dogs, including Doughboy, 25 times. I have high energy boxers, one of whom is also, intact, and we've never had an issue. I've never seen Doughboy be anything but gentle and non-aggressive. So I just wanted to state that.
Thank you. Anybody else? And that's another question I wanted to ask. I guess the question to Mr. Magana is your dog that we're referring to as Doughboy is unaltered?
Yes.
He's neutered. Is there any particular reason for that?
No, he's not.
No, he's altered. No, he's
unaltered.
altered. Yeah, he's not unaltered. He's neutered.
Yeah, we neutered him when he was 1 year old, so he's been neutered his majority of. We probably neutered him a little bit before 1 year old, so he's been.
Okay. That may not have been known because the report just doesn't indicate he's neutered.
Oh, okay.
Neutered.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything further? Doesn't look like it. I will now take this matter under submission so that my findings may be prepared and a decision rendered within 7 calendar days. I apologize if there's some background noise. It seems like there's leaf blowing right outside the window. Any interested party will have the right to appeal this decision by filing a writ of mandate in the Superior Court of this county pursuant to the California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 1094.6. I'll make all of this clear in the decision letter that will come out to all parties, including Ms. Quasha. Are there any further questions about the process or the procedure from this point on?
Will the decision be an email or like a physical mail letter?
It'll be a letter that will be, I believe, also emailed to everybody on the service copy list. Is that correct, Stephanie?
Travis, I'll answer. Yes, that's correct. You'll get an email like you did, and you'll also get a hard copy mailed to you.
Thank you, Tina.
And it's just, I'm sure, responding to that, if we're within the 5 days, would be the day that you received the email or the day that the
Within 7 days, the letter will go out. The decision letter will go out to everybody. And then if the decision is that the animal should be maintained under a dangerous animal permit, as per the code, then you have 5 days from there to go and just make get that done with Peninsula Humane Society. But just to reiterate, dangerous animal, you're not at risk of losing ownership and control of your animal. But in certain jurisdictions, there's a limit on how many dogs can be owned. But we'll leave that up to a later point in time.
How many dogs would that be?
How many dogs do you own?
I have just Doughboy, that's my dog, and then I had the other dog that was there was my little brother's.
Okay. I wouldn't worry about it then. I mean, we'll
Okay.
add in the letter either way, but okay.
Okay, thank you.
The decision will be a final decision on behalf of San Mateo County, and the hearing is now closed. But if you need evidence that to further be submitted, please do so by the end of day. Thank you.
Thank you.